I'm back, this time with another DVD and Blu-ray update. Well, as you can see, I've got a little stack here. Well, let's just get right into it. The first one is the only DVD copy by itself, and it's Walt Disney's White Fang, starring a young Ethan Hawke. And Ethan Hawke plays this young man who goes to the Yukon Valley in search of gold, and he ends up finding this half-wolf, half-dog named White Fang, and then they form this bond, and they do end up finding gold. And I got this through the Disney Movie Rewards program, and when I got it, I was initially disappointed because I like widescreen. This is in full screen, but then I later found out that is all that's available is full screen. Well, anyway, here's White Fang. This next one, it's probably going to take me a little bit to get through, but it is the entire Alien anthology, with the exception of the Alien vs. Predator movies. Those are not in there. And as you can see, the actual case comes out box. Let's set that off to the side. Actually, as you can see, I switched hands. But I'll just go ahead and show you the back where it shows the titles. You can barely read Alien there. But anyway, Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, and Resurrection. And as I said, it comes in this case, actually more like a book. Flip the page, and it says Alien Anthology. And flip the page, gives a brief summary about the franchise and its impact. And we go to flip the page after that, and then here's the first movie, directed by Ridley Scott, with Tom Skerritt, Ian Holm, who is more known as Bilbo Baggins in the original Lord of the Rings trilogy, and main star of the franchise, Sigourney Weaver. And it's also I forgot to mention John Hurt, which, if you can't tell, that's him under that alien right there. Yeah, if you've seen the movie Spaceballs, and you see an alien pop out of the chest, he says, "Oh no, not again." Well, this is why. Okay, because he has a similar scene in this, but it's a little more scarier. Anyway, it's about this crew. They are hired by this company to tow a ship back home, which is years away. But however, they've been asleep for this time. Actually, no, I think it's months. But anyway, the ship wakes them up, saying there's been a distress call on this nearby planet, and they have to go check it out. That is part of the protocol the company has installed. But then they land on the planet, this thing lands on John Hurt's face, and of course they bring it back onto the ship, and chaos ensues, with, well, only one survivor. Let's flip the page here, and that is from the inside of the ship. That was on the previous page. I'm not going to go back to it. Then the next one, Aliens, directed by James Cameron, where Ripley, Sigourney Weaver's character, must lead this group of Marines back to that planet. And of course, sorry I cut myself off there, but chaos ensues once again, and she must protect this little girl. And if you've probably seen it, this is the one where she puts on that giant robotic suit to fight this alien right here. Next one, Alien 3, directed by David Fincher, has Ripley crash landing on this planet, and unknowingly she carries one of the aliens with her on that ship, and, well, people start getting killed. And there's a picture from that movie as well. Then we go on to Alien 4 Resurrection, which has Sigourney Weaver again. Now this one is directed by Jean-Pierre Jeunet, or whatever their name is. However, this one was written by Joss Whedon. Well, anyway, the story is Ripley has been dead for 200 years. This is a clone of her. And this also has Ron Perlman and Winona Ryder. And basically the company's trying to breed a new alien and make it a weapon. Then we flip the page. Here's another shot from one of the movies. Let's flip the page again. We have 2 bonus discs talking about the Alien franchise. And then here's the credits for each movie and a little guide throughout the discs. I'm going to put my camera down so I can put this back in the box. Okay, got the really big one out of the way, but now let's go to one of a few upgrades. I still have this movie on DVD, and I'm going to keep it on DVD because it's part of a box set. In other words, not in its own separate case. Well, it's Backdraft, directed by Ron Howard, through Universal Best of the Decades. And this stars Kurt Russell, William Baldwin, Scott Glenn, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Rebecca De Mornay, Donald Sutherland, and Robert De Niro. And the story is, basically people are getting killed in these fires. And Robert De Niro's character thinks, or believes it's an arsonist. Which is true. But it's then finding out who it is. And when they find out who it is, then they go into why is he doing it. And this mainly follows Billy Baldwin's character and Kurt Russell's characters, because they play brothers. Years prior, when they were children, their father died. In fact, it was Billy Baldwin's character who witnessed his father dying. Anyway, him and his older brother both become firemen, and then of course, you know, the whole arsonist thing goes on. And basically everything I have on that DVD is on here. Just on one disc. So basically, I just got the 2 other copies. Yeah, upgrade to the Blu-ray, and also came with a digital copy as well. So, there's Backdraft. Now next is also an upgrade, but it's also one of several steelbooks I did pick up. This one I picked up for $15 at Walmart.com. It's Will Ferrell in Elf. This one's pretty much become like a new or current classic. As you can already see, there's interior artwork. Of course, here's the Blu-ray, which that's no different than some of the disc art on the DVD, on the original DVD, and then here's the DVD for this copy. And then you see a little elf choir, along with a picture of Will Ferrell. And on the back, well, I already showed you the back, but it's Will Ferrell sitting on his dad's lap. And of course, the story is about Buddy, the elf, played by Will Ferrell, who knows he's not, or he doesn't know the full truth about what happened to him when he was a little baby, and somehow he ended up in the North Pole. But anyway, he goes in search of his real father, played by James Caan, and tries to be part of his life. Next is another David Fincher film. There's actually a couple David Fincher titles in here as well. We have the 10th anniversary of Fight Club with Edward Norton and Brad Pitt. Yeah. I haven't seen all this movie, but I know there's like some, it obviously involves an underground fight club. Now, I do know the plot twist. There is a plot twist. Am I going to say it? No, but it does involve the two main characters here. I will say that much. Yeah, Fight Club. Next is another Steelbook, but it's also one of the more current movies that came out this summer, and it is Zack Snyder's Man of Steel, with Henry Cavill as Superman, along with Amy Adams as Lois Lane, Michael Shannon as General Zod, Kevin Costner, Diane Lane, who play the Kents, Lawrence Fishburne, I forget his character's name, but he plays the editor of the Daily Planet, and Russell Crowe, who plays Jor-El. Of course, this tells the beginning story of Superman. Let's just go ahead and flip it to the back here. It just gives the credits and the basic background look. Open it up here. And it is a 3-disc set. We have the DVD sitting over here by itself. Go ahead and take that out. And the Blu-rays. First one is the movie, and then a special features disc. Now basically this tells the story of how Superman came to be. And for the most part, I kind of liked how they told his childhood, but not really. They do it in flashbacks, and which was kind of interesting how to do that. Of course, here I'm showing you the interior artwork of Superman. I'll put this back in there, and basically it shows him in flashbacks as a kid, when he first discovers he's not normal. Discovers some of his powers, saves a bunch of children in a bus accident, but then also, they also make his Superman do something that you would never think of a superhero doing. It's like he already had his Dark Knight moment, is a good way to put it. Or that's how I'm going to put it. And, this was a great summer movie. Check it out. This next one is a Christmas movie from Disney. They only had this out on DVD for several years. Now finally they put it out on Blu-ray. It was kind of pointless to price it at what they did. Price it at $25. Well, it's Mickey's Christmas Carol. And the reason why I say it's pointless is because the total runtime on this, even including special features, 48 minutes. That is it. But anyway, this was the first of 3 adaptations of the famous Christmas Carol. This played right before a re-release of The Rescuers, the original The Rescuers. And this was the first Mickey Mouse film in years, or short, I should say. Yeah, this is the 30th anniversary edition. But anyway, there was 2 other Christmas Carol adaptations. There was The Muppet Christmas Carol, which Disney co-produced and released. And then, of course, well, I'm going to show you right here. Oh, got the wrong one. There we go. The one with Jim Carrey, directed by Robert Zemeckis. Yeah. Well, anyway, it's still a decent, Christmas time short. Yeah, Mickey's Christmas Carol. Next is a Disney Pixar title. I've yet to watch it. Actually, a lot of these I've yet to watch. It's the prequel to Monsters Inc., Monsters University, which tells the story of how Mike and Sully, played by the same actors that played them in Monsters Inc., John Goodman and Billy Crystal, about how they met and got through school together. Just open it up here, and it's a 3-disc set. There's the movie on Blu-ray and the bonus features with the DVD of just the movie. And I just picked it up because usually Disney and Pixar do pretty good stuff together. Well, it's all one company anyways. But anyway, Monsters University. Now next is the type of movie I usually don't get unless it's more reality-based. You know, it's human beings as the killers. Well, I got The Purge. There again with Ethan Hawke. Of course, I'm just going to give the basic storyline here. There's no crime because what they do is every year, I think it's like 12 hours, all crime is legal. And basically what happens is Ethan Hawke's family, or member of his family, lets in this guy who's being chased by these people, and they must survive the night before, well, they get killed. Now next is another Steelbook and Upgrade, re-released through Warner Brothers, but it's a Paramount title. Bill Murray in Scrooged, another take on the Christmas Carol, but this was a more modern day take at the time, which was in 1980. Hold on, 88. The year before I was born. Well, anyway, Bill Murray plays this young TV executive in which his company is producing a live edition of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. But however, he's going through his own Scrooge moment. You know, he meets the 3 ghosts, rekindles a old love relationship, and all the little chaos that ensues with these ghosts. In fact, you see 2 of them right there. The Ghost of Christmas Past right here, with Bill Murray in his cab, and then Christmas Present. Very funny movie. Now I go to a very funny movie, to I wouldn't call it a horror movie, but it's a very dark drama with Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman, directed by, well, David Fincher. 7, which what's happening is Morgan Freeman, like, his character is about ready to retire. He's training his new partner, played by Brad Pitt. It also has Gwyneth Paltrow and Kevin Spacey. And Kevin Spacey, spoiler alert, he is the killer. And this killer is going around killing people based on the 7 deadly sins. That's right, the 7 deadly sins. And they must catch him. Okay, the next one from Warner Brothers. Actually, this one, and I got one. This one. Then another set of movies after that are released by Warner Brothers. Well, anyway, this movie is the movie that started everything for George Lucas. The movie that got him basically in the door. His first movie, executive produced by Francis Ford Coppola, starring Robert Duvall. We have THX 1138, the director's cut. Basically, it's about Robert Duvall's character. His character, he can't make up his own mind. His mind is pretty much controlled by the government, by, I think, the government or somebody. Well, anyway, choices are made for him. This is a very artistic movie. Well, anyway, what happens is he pretty much begins to revolt a little bit. Kind of like, if you ever seen Logan's Run, or maybe even a more modern idea, The Island. Yeah, this movie was initially a bomb. In fact, here's a picture of George Lucas on the set. But it was the movie that got him started. THX 1138. Well, next from Warner Brothers is a triple feature set of Stanley Kubrick films. And they are 2001, A Space Odyssey, A Clockwork Orange, one of the most controversial movies of all time, and The Shining. Let's just go ahead and go through it one by one here. From what I understand about 2001, it's about this team of astronauts who go into space along with their onboard computer system, HAL. Well, things go wrong, and then basically HAL becomes an evil machine. I mean, not like it, turns into like a Decepticon or whatever and kills everybody, but he does some very bad things for the astronauts, causes them trouble. A Clockwork Orange. Now, why it's controversial is because I think it's because it's about. Well, anyway, I'll tell you what happens. Malcolm McDowell's character, that's who that is. Basically, him and his gang commit crimes, and they do very psychotic crimes, gang rapes while singing in the Rain is a good example, and so on and so forth. And then finally, we have Jack Nicholson in The Shining, where this author, played by Jack Nicholson, takes his wife, played by Shelley Duvall, and their son to this lodge, and they are the only people in this lodge on the mountain. And of course, we already know Jack's crazy anyways, but anyway, his character snaps, and he turns into a homicidal maniac. In fact, the shot of him here, he screams, or doesn't scream, but he goes, "Here's Johnny!" The famous line from The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. The Stanley Kubrick triple feature. Next is a movie originally released by Paramount, but recently distributed by Warner Brothers. It is the Vietnam film We Were Soldiers, based off the book of, I think it's called We Were Soldiers Once and Young. In fact, it was written by his character. Sorry, I had to look up the character's name, but Harold G. Moore. He was a major then. Yeah, major. But then when he wrote the book, he was retired, a lieutenant general. Well, anyway, it's about this huge battle, one of the deadliest battles in Vietnam, and it tells that story from not only the soldiers' perspective, but then the wives at home that knew about this battle. And there's a point where the Western Union telegram guy, he's informing some of the wives their husband is dead. Well, anyway, the main reason why I got this is because of my mom. Now, she did buy the DVD copy a couple weeks ago, but she found out and told me and my brother that she had a cousin who was there. So, yeah, there's a little family connection here to the main story. And then for the last one, this movie was a bomb this summer, but I thought it was alright. Starring Channing Tatum and Jamie Foxx, directed by Roland Emmerich. White House Down. I know. I got a bomb, so what? I own several. Box office bomb, that is. Anyway, open it up. Here's the DVD. Take it out. And it's just Channing Tatum diving out from an explosion. Well, anyway, the story goes, Channing Tatum's character, who keeps going job to job, he doesn't stay with the job very long, tries to apply to become a Secret Service agent for the president. At the beginning of the movie, he works for the Speaker of the House. But anyway, this group of American terrorists take over the White House, and they try to kill the president. Well, Channing Tatum's character was there to, as I said, apply for the job. Well, they did not know that. But anyway, then they have to find out who's their leader, which one of them is, trying to think of his name, and it said James Woods, who is a retiring Secret Service agent. In fact, he's the head of the Secret Service. But he's answering to someone else. That's where there's a twist there. Well, anyway, they must stop him and his boss from getting him killed. Anyway, that is my collection for this month. Yeah, I collected a lot. Or actually, I shouldn't say this month, but mostly this month. But ever since the last collection update video. If I get any more before Christmas, I'll probably do the video on that. But anyway, so long for now.